And welcome everybody to the Lunacy Podcast. I am Tony. I'm here with Dave and Dave Stevens, Dave Sterling. I'm Tony Pervenanzi. We have no guests today. Johnny is not here, but fantastic to have him on last time. We are coming to you today from, now is it, we were talking about this in the car, Dave. Is it Utepils or Utepils?
I think it's Utepils.
It's Utepils.
Utepils.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I always wanted to call it Utepils, but
yes, that's what I always did.
But
Utepils?
you got to think. Yeah, I don't know why it just rolls off the tongue a little easier.
Sure.
But I think the way you got to look at it is it ends with pills.
Okay,
like
so,
the beer style. So I think just remember pills.
The website has the pronunciation on it.
Okay,
and Utepils, I believe, would be the closest.
Yeah. So we're at Utepils Brewing in Minneapolis. It's right by Theodore Wirth Park, right in this kind of tucked away.
Off of Glenwood.
Yep. Right next to Bassett Creek, I believe, is the name of the little creek that goes by here. They also have a food truck outside today called Empanada.
Another tough one to pronounce.
Yeah, it's Chilean.
Chilean. Okay.
And they said that they specialize in empanadas in a cone.
Empanadas in a cone.
It's intriguing. I don't know what that means.
Like a waffle cone?
I don't know. I don't have no
like
idea.
An ice cream cone?
Maybe.
When I think of an empanada, I have a hard time fitting it into a cone. It'd be interesting to see how that would work.
Yeah.
So they have a food truck outside today. It is pretty busy here for a Saturday at noon. But I think the deal is the temperatures here in the Twin Cities are in the mid-40s today in January.
Yeah.
We were what, 5 minutes earlier, and we were not the first people here.
No, there was people here already. And
impressive.
Like I said, Utepils has allowed us to come out here and do our podcast, and we're thankful to them for that. They gave us some free drink coupons, which we've been using. I was able to get the Ewald the Wild Man, which is a dry hopped Hefeweizen, which is very, very good. Stevens, what'd you get?
Well, I ended up going with the Totally Worth It, and not just for the name either. It's a dry Irish stout, and just if I had one word for it, I'd say just incredibly smooth.
Yeah.
It's just a nice stout in the traditional sense, and I think that's it is they call it a dry Irish stout. That's exactly what it is, and I think that the Utepils, I think they have kind of a European vibe to them as far as their beer selection goes.
Yep. So. Sterling, what'd you get?
I got the Broom Stacker, which I got that because I actually saw it in an ad on Facebook.
Really?
I've never seen a local brewery with an ad on Facebook.
Yeah.
And their can is curling focused.
Oh.
And I would assume that's the broom concept.
Broom,
So
Broom Stacker, yep.
My wife's family are big curlers.
Oh.
I've never done curling. So as soon as I saw it pop up on my feed, I was like, I'm gonna get that today. It's good. It's a red lager.
Okay.
And it's nice and smooth. 6% alcohol, so it's nice mid-range. Yeah.
And I do want to say something about this place. This is the first brewery we've been to, and we've been to some great breweries. But they use the correct glasses for every beer they serve. So my Hefeweizen is in a nice kind of a tall glass.
Yep.
Dave, yours is in kind of a...
I was going to say,
shorty.
I might have to disagree with you there, because my glass is way too small for the Totally Worth It stout.
Stout, yeah. But they've got... Now, you've got another beer, though.
Yeah, that's the Kolsch.
The Kolsch, and they put that in kind of
copacetic Kolsch.
They put that in kind of a skinny kind of glass. So...
No, it definitely helps you, it helps you... You can just, from a glance, you can see what people are drinking, and like you said, the proper beer glass. So it is kind of a cool. And I just have to say, I just love. This is my second time here, probably second in the last month now, and I just love the tap room, just the vibe and the feel it has. The place is a wide open space.
Yep.
It just looks great. It's got a great feeling, and like we were talking about before we came on, it'd be nice to see what this place looks like in the summer as far as their outdoor patio.
They've got, their outdoor patio goes out kind of a wooded area back here. And I think, like I said, the creek, Bassett Creek, is right behind us.
Right.
So it's kind of like they have a whole nature feel in the back, and interesting to see. But this place is huge.
It's fantastic.
Fantastic. So I do have to say that, of course, you can find the Lunacy Podcast on Spreaker, iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, TuneIn, and of course, we are part of the BGN network, bgn.fm.
Yes.
And and we're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We have our own website, loonsipodcast.com. Anytime you go on the internet, you can find us.
Yep.
Anyway.
And I'm currently working on a deal that would get us into Europe.
Into Europe?
On a literally European podcast site.
Wow.
It's not going to cost us anything.
Cool.
So I'm working on that.
Now, what's the upside there? I mean, obviously, people in Europe can already find us on the internet.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where they're finding that the platforms are becoming more popular. So they're starting to turn away from things like iTunes, and they're wanting to go to actual platforms and more specialized. And so that was something that I picked up way back when we were at Alloy.
Okay.
And I forget his name now. He was doing his book.
Oh, yeah, he follows us on Twitter. I can't think of his name, yeah.
And so he told us to start using the hashtag #PodernFamily.
Yeah.
And so I've been doing that on all our things. And a podcaster that's setting up this platform in the UK sent me an email.
Oh, nice.
And so, yeah, it's in the beta version.
Okay.
It may mean nothing, really.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was interesting. We'd probably be the first MLS focused on a specific European-specific platform.
Nice.
Yeah.
We're growing. We're going worldwide, boys.
Yeah.
Worldwide. So, some housekeeping things to talk about. Did you guys have a very good holiday season?
Yeah, I had the whole week off.
As did I.
Which was nice, yeah.
Nice.
The negative is I had the whole week to spend with extended family.
Oh, yeah.
And, I mean, I love my family, but 6 days starts getting a little much.
Sure.
So, but, I mean, it was a good time. It was nice to be away from work. I realized how much stuff I forgot when I got back to work.
Yeah, you go through that.
Yeah.
My liver was not happy with me after about, I think, Christmas Day. My liver got a reprieve because I went to my parents' house during the day and we didn't drink there. But Christmas Eve, we had people over. Sundays, my sister-in-law from Illinois was up, so we were doing stuff all weekend and drinking and having a good time. So by Christmas Day, my liver was like, yeah, we need to take a couple days off, which I did.
And you actually mentioned that in one of our text feeds. Something about that.
Yeah. And so, because remember, we did our last podcast on a Thursday night.
Right.
That was just heading into the holiday.
And I was heading it because I had Friday off, so I drank Thursday night.
Yeah.
Woke up Friday morning, went to work for like 2 hours, even though it was my off day to fix some things. Me and our buddy Nels went down to Mystic Lake, drank more down there, didn't get totally inebriated, but had a couple beers there. Came back up, went out to Boondocks that night, drank there, and then went to my sister-in-law's house afterwards to hang out and drank there. So it was like totally like, you know, it wasn't a full tilt, but at the end of the night I was like, yeah. So,
Dave
Stevens, how was yours?
Well,
how was the chili bake-off?
It was good, and yeah, mine kind of started off. I did end up, my holiday didn't start quite as early as yours. I got back from Fond du Lac that Thursday when we were at Torg and I went straight to Torg to do the podcast, of course. Yeah. I'm glad I made it. Then I did end up going into the office the next day, so I couldn't go to the casino with you guys.
Yeah, too bad.
Which it is too bad. But then, yeah, my holiday got off to a rip-roaring start as well. I mean, because I had that whole 12 days off between that Friday afternoon and Wednesday after the New Year. So I had a long break. I was looking forward to it. And, of course, the family party started right away on Christmas Eve and Christmas. My cousin Troy, he always throws a real big party way up in Oak Grove that I went to, and then we did have the chili bake-off at my parents' house on Christmas Day. That was great, kind of a smaller gathering, but fun.
Sure.
And I really started getting into it. I was having a good time, and then guess what happened to me?
What's that?
I got sick.
Oh.
Shortly after, and I'm not one to get sick very often, so when I get sick, it catches me off guard because I'm not expecting it. I had a nice little fever for a couple days, Wednesday and Thursday after Christmas. So I was actually planning on going somewhere, whether it be, I was thinking maybe Hawaii, maybe Cincinnati. I know they're kind of few and far in between there, but I was thinking about going somewhere.
That's extreme difference.
It is kind of extreme, Cincinnati, Honolulu, Cincinnati, Honolulu. Well, I couldn't decide, so I didn't go anywhere just as well, because I did need a couple days to recover, but the good news is, by the time I had to go back to work, I was fully recovered. So
it's too bad you didn't go to Hawaii, because you know who was there? Carolla was there. Adam Carolla was in Hawaii
no kidding.
over the break.
I was going to go visit one of our listeners, Marshall Peterson.
Marshall
he's working down there. But anyway, so I didn't do that. Hung around. Obviously, saw you. What was it?
Sunday. We watched the final Vikings game of the year.
Game, and
which was terrible.
So it was. I'll tell you what. I just loved the time off. It was just nice to relax and have a nice break. Yeah. So I feel a little bit refreshed. Wasn't quite ready to go back to work like probably most people, but
no. But what else could you do? You spend all this time off, right? After a while, you get kind of bored. You're
exactly.
Nothing going on.
And I don't know that having another week off, let's say, would make it any easier.
No.
It'd probably be the opposite, actually. So.
And then you get back to work and you realize, back to it. That's your big. The Christmas break is my big break of the year.
Oh, yeah.
Because of all the days that you have off, and I take a bunch of days off. So that's my big break of the year. And then when it's over, I go, shit, now I got to wait a whole other year to have my 12 days off in a row again.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, just because I know we touched on it, when we were up at Alloy and we ran into that author, his name is Nick Volodichuk. Right?
Okay, there you
go. And he was working on his first comic book. Actually, it looked kind of like a
graphic novel,
but called The Greenway, and that came out came out back in November.
Yep.
And I just wanted to give the proper plug there.
So let's get into some United stuff.
Yeah.
Even though there really isn't any to talk about.
Yes, some is an understatement.
Dave Sterling and I were back and forth on Twitter this week saying, making comments about that they're not doing anything, there's nothing going on. I made a couple comments on Twitter that they need to get working because they have 2 months left.
Yeah.
Until
the preseason
starts in a month.
Yeah. Less than a month.
So, they need to be kind of, let's get some guys, let's get some players, let's get some guys in, let's start working this out.
Yeah.
We did make one move we talked about at Torg, and that was the midfielder.
Yeah, the Jan Gregus.
Jan Gregus, yep.
Number 6, number 8 sort of player, yeah. It's a good signing, but...
It's a good signing, but I look at soccer the same way I look at a lot of pro sports. I look at the Twins in the offseason, okay? They signed a bunch of, lower guys, and then you're signing with Nelson Cruz, and you're like, oh, okay, but that's one big one, but we need more to kind of... And they haven't done that yet. And I look at the United and signing Gregor and getting him in there, but we need more.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where, even as bad as it is, Minnesota United managed to get rid of half their team.
Yeah.
So you're not just talking depth players. You're talking starting position players.
Exactly.
And if we constantly talk the defense. You have, everything that I can think of. We're talking Calvo's going to be on the left.
Yep.
Boxall and Kalman will be at center back. But you don't have a starting right back.
No.
You don't have... Carter Manley's not even prepared to be a backup.
No.
And what about Kalman? Is he...
What's that?
Brent Kalman.
Yeah.
Is he...
I think he's... For what I can tell, Kalman and Boxall will be the starters. Mm-hmm. I personally don't think either of them are starters.
Sure.
But that's Minnesota United.
Is Manley a guy that they could throw to Madison, though?
Oh, yeah.
And then he could kind of work his way up. And that's the Madison connection. That's why that works out.